welcome back to another day with Faye. Y'all, I'm getting ready to do a get ready with me, and today I'm gonna be discussing my coming out story. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Y'all, I know I've been seeing all of y'all suggestions. I want y'all to know more hair videos are coming, more nail videos are coming, more makeup videos are coming, and more styling videos are coming. And yeah, y'all just be patient with me as I get these videos out. So anyways, like I said, I'm gonna be doing my coming out story while I'm getting ready. Yes, honey, watch me get beat and also find out how your girl told her family that she was gay. So let me go with my eyebrows. My coming out story is kind of weird, like very weird. Actually, you know, once I tell this story, it might not be that weird. Y'all be like, girl, that was my coming out story too. So let's just find out together. Anyways, first, I'm gonna start off with the fact that my family is super duper Christian. I mean, like, very Christian. Okay, and honestly, that's really all I have to say for y'all to figure out how this coming out story came, or like how it went, because y'all, it was a lot going on at that time, honey, especially because they was Christian. Let me know if y'all families was Christian down below, and what kind of Christian. And you know, y'all know what I mean when I say what kind of Christian. Was y'all Baptist? Was y'all Koji? Was y'all non-denominational? Let me know. Let your girl know if you was Christian. But anyways, yeah, my family was very Christian. So yeah, they wasn't that accepting, which, you know, makes the story a tad bit more full of tea. Okay, I was very much so a church going girl at the time. All right, I was at church every day of the week. On Sundays we had regular church. On Mondays we was doing Bible study. Tuesdays we was doing rehearsal for Sunday. Girl, I was at church every day. Like, that's how Christian I was. Okay, they was very involved in church. I was very involved in church. And you know, even when I was being involved in church, honey, I was still very much so attracted to the ladies. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the fact that I knew that I like girls because it was just something about my teachers. When I looked at them, I would have crushes on them. Okay, and when I say teachers, I do mean the female ones. And from a very young age, I always had crushes on my teachers, like always. And I don't know, like, I was a teacher's pet because I liked them a lot. And you know, it was just, I don't know, at the time I didn't realize it was because I like girls, but it was just because I thought I wanted to be a good student. But on top of all of that, I can never keep my eyes away from boobs and butt. Like, I was always looking at it, and I used to talk to my friends when I would go outside. I had this one friend that I confided in, and I told her, like, girl, I don't know what it is, but I'm always looking at booty and boobs. So I don't know, that should have been a red flag to me then, honestly, but I just thought it was normal. I mean, you know, I was confiding in her to ask her, like, girl, do you be looking at butt? Do you be looking at boobs? Or is it just me? And she told me that she don't be looking at boobs. She don't be looking at butt. It is just me. So, you know, I should have just took that as, maybe it's something a little different about you. But that's not how I took it. I was just like, oh, okay, well, this is just how I'm coming. So anyways, let me go back to my family being super Christian. So y'all, I had this one best friend in high school, and this is like every lesbian story. I'm sure everybody like their best friend, but anyways, so I had this one best friend in high school, and we was always around each other. And like, for some reason, I had other friends in high school, obviously, but the way that I felt about this best friend was different than how I felt about my other friends. Okay, and mind you, I had already had a couple experiences with like kissing girls and doing things with girls, but you know, I was just chalking it up to me being curious, or like, you know, me just being a kid that wants to do things. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I had this one friend in high school, and we was really close, and like, we used to write notes to each other. I used to tell her about my family all the time. Like, I would be on the phone with her all the time. I was always over her house. I definitely came out to her before I came out to my parents. So one day we was on the phone, and I was just like, girl, I like you a lot. Let me go back. Let me rewind, because one day for my birthday, y'all, my mom ended up getting me a hotel, and all my friends got to spend the night. And me and her was up, and we did some things. And let me know if y'all want to hear that story, because it's kind of like the first time for me. But we did some things. And so the day that we was on the phone, this was after that. This was after we had did some things on my birthday. And I was on the phone with her just talking, and I was like, you know, I kind of like you. And when I say I like you more than as a friend. And you know, she was like, I like you too. I like you more than as a friend. So, you know, that day we decided to be, you know, I guess girlfriends. A little something more than, a little something extra more than just friends. And so as girlfriends, I would still go over her house all the time. We would go out to eat. I guess this is our little dates. But we still, the crazy part is we still had boyfriends that we was around all the time, like while we was with each other. It was very weird. So yeah, like we would just, you know, hang out, be around each other, text each other, call each other, all of those things, you know, the things that you do as girlfriends, as much as you could do in high school without people knowing about you, about, you know, y'all being gay. So one day out of the blue, my parents, or my dad, actually like took my phone because they thought that I was like smiling in it or whatever, or laughing or giggling about something that we was talking about. Well, the gag is I was actually laughing and giggling about something I was talking about with another friend. But since I was laughing and giggling, he was like, what you laughing about? What you giggling about? What's in your phone? And he took my phone, y'all, in a playful manner. And like went to his room and locked the door and read the messages, y'all. And so at this point I knew it was all over, because I had plenty of messages with this girlfriend in there, and it was definitely talking about our relationship. So I'm just sitting there panicking, like, oh my god, my life is about to be over in this moment, like right now. Like I'm not gonna never see another day again, because this is about to be bad, like really bad. So y'all, I'm sitting there reading the messages for a good 15-20 minutes, and I'm definitely panicking. And what makes the story even more juicy is the friend girl is on her way to come pick me up. Like she's currently in her car driving to come to my house so that she could pick me up so I can go to her house. Whole lot going on, and I had no way to tell her, like, girl, please turn around, please do not come get me, because it's about to go down. I had no way to tell her that because my dad had my phone. So yeah, y'all, he just reading everything in the phone. I'm panicking, like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna tell her? What am I about to say to my parents? Like, what story am I about to come up with? I don't know. I was just panicking. So anyways, finally she pulls up to my house, and it's in the parking lot. I mean, it's in the driveway. That's how I was able to see her, because I saw her in the driveway. And she knocked on the door. She was like, girl, what you doing? Come on, let's go. Like, you know, we do this every day. I mean, we do this every weekend. Like, what's taking so long? What's the hold up? So I pulled her to the side, and I said, look here, a lot is about to go down right now. I said, look here, honey, a lot is about to go on right now. Let me give you the rundown on the tea. So I told her everything that was going on. I told her how my dad had my phone. I told her how, like, you know, our cover is blown. He basically knows everything because he has my phone and he's been reading our messages. So she was like, oh my god, this is terrible. And you know, meanwhile, my mom is pulling up as we having this conversation on the front porch. And my mom really liked the girl. Like, you know, they knew that we was close friends. They knew that we was best friends. So she like, hey girl, give me a hug. I'm so happy to see you, stuff like that. You know, just being cordial or whatever. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, girl, in a couple minutes, you're not about to like her. So my mom goes into the house as I continue to talk to my girlfriend. And let's call her Chi-Chi. So I'm talking to Chi-Chi while we on the front porch, and I'm like, girl, I don't know what we finna do. Like, I don't have a story, I don't have a cover up, I don't have a lie, I can't say anything. Like, you know, he basically read all the stuff on my phone. There's no way to get around it. So my mom comes out shortly as we both panicking, and she says, yeah, you're gonna have to go home, honey, and say we're gonna have to have a conversation. So anyways, the girl leaves, And they bring me into their room, y'all. Oh my God, my heart is pounding at this point, like pounding, because, y'all, this is terrible. This is not at all how I wanted them to find out that I like girls or that I liked her. And I wasn't even like, at this point, it was so many conversations I hadn't had with myself or I hadn't had with her. So I was still trying to get it together, you know, like I'm still in the process of learning, like, what it is that I am, because I had no examples at the time of being gay. Well, not really, I had like one, but not enough. Nobody who was like me. They bring me into that room and they was like, so you gonna tell us what these messages is about? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? Like, I know you had something to tell us, you know, you're not boo-boo the food. And I was just like standing there quiet in shock because, you know, first of all, one, I felt like they was invading my privacy, and two, like, I don't know, like I wasn't expecting to come out to them this early or this soon, or I didn't even know what coming out was at the time, because like I said, I didn't have any examples for real because I grew up in the church. So I'm just like, I don't really know what to say. I was just standing there like, y'all, standing there looking dumb, looking stupid, because I was just, you know, scared, nervous, shook even. But anyways, we ended up continuing to have a conversation that was asking me questions like, okay, well, when did y'all start doing this? Why do you like her? You know this is wrong. Why are you doing these things if you know that it's wrong? And I'm not saying that I believe it's wrong now, but I'm just letting y'all know that this is what they were saying to me. Like, girl, what are you doing? You know better. Stuff like that. That's what they were saying. And I was just like, you know, I can't help that I like her. I can't help that I have these extra feelings for her. That's what I started saying. I was like, I don't know where the feelings came from, but for some reason I like her. And then they started trying to threaten me, y'all. They was like, okay, well, you gonna stand up in front of the church and tell everybody that you like her? And I was like, yeah, I would, because that's just my truth. Like, that's just what I'm going through right now. And they was like, I know you would. Like, girl, no, you didn't know I would, but they just doing it because they trying to make it seem like they know me, but they really don't, because obviously I was keeping this whole other lifestyle from them. So anyways, they had this long conversation telling me that it was wrong, and I need to acknowledge that it's wrong, and that I can't ever do this again, and that like my relationship with her is gonna be like very different. And they started talking about how they wanted to put me in counseling and all this other type of stuff, girl. Like, it was a terrible conversation, okay? Very traumatic. So the next day, I mean, throughout that whole night, I was panicking because honestly, this was a Saturday. And the next day, I was supposed to be over her house. I wasn't planning on going to church, but obviously, since I was at home, I was going to have to go to church. And going to church meant facing my pastor. It meant facing the people who I knew they was gonna tell. Y'all know parents can't hold water. So I knew they was gonna tell a whole lot of people in the church, and they did. So I just was not ready for that conversation, and I was upset because I couldn't talk to her. I couldn't talk to my friend Chi and tell her like, girl, this is what's going on, or like, I don't know. I just had no way to warn her, or no way to be like, you know, to tell her like, girl, no matter what happens, I still love you, or so I thought. But my cousin ended up coming over, and he saved the day because my parents ended up leaving that night, and I used my cousin's phone to call Chi and tell her like, girl, I still love you, and I know they found out, and whatever happens, I know we're gonna make it through, and all of that other type of stuff or whatever, because you know, at this time I just thought that we was gonna be together forever. So the next day comes, and like, my eyes is all puffy from crying, and I'm not ready to go to church, and I really don't want to be at church, but you know, the way that everything was set up in my life, I had to be there. So we went to church, and they ended up, I mean, I'm sure they had already talked to my pastor or whatever that night, so it wasn't much explaining that I had to do. It was a regular church service, and people was kind of like scolding me, or like saying little slick stuff to me, like they knew what was going on, or saying like, you know, I'm praying for you, stuff like that. Very traumatic again. So after church, we ended up going, and I had no idea that this was about to happen. We ended up going to Chi-Chi's house while her parents was there. And y'all, her mama loved me so much. Her mama was such, like, she really liked me as Chi-Chi's friend until this day. So we pulled up to Chi-Chi's house, and her mama gave me a hug and was like, hey Faye, hey girl, you look so cute in your dress, and you know, just being nice to me like she always is. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, it's crazy that this relationship is about to be ruined right now. So we get to Chi-Chi's house, y'all, and my parents was like, can we pray before we start this conversation, girl? And by the way, Chi-Chi's family was not religious like our family, so I thought it was very rude of them to like push this prayer on them. Like, you don't even know what their lifestyle is. So they started praying with Chi-Chi's family, Lord, and we was just praying together and holding hands, and I was crying, and it was just a lot going on. So anyways, they started telling Chi-Chi's family that we was gay, that we was girlfriends, that we was together, that we was holding this from them. And Chi-Chi was so embarrassed. She was sitting in a corner just, you know, doing whatever she was doing, crying and whatnot. And I'm just sitting there like, I cannot believe my parents are this bold to do this to somebody else. Like, okay, maybe, yeah, you see that I'm coming out to you, but it's very rude of you to like out somebody else, and it's not even your family. Like, what? This not even people you know for real. Like, you know them through me. After we finished praying, they started telling them that we was gay and like telling them about the messages that they were in. And it was just terrible. It was just real terrible. I was just sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I was crying too because I was just, you know, I really cared about Chi-Chi or whatever. And I was sad that my family was bringing message to her family, and it's just not fair that she had to deal with this and all of that. But I ended up like, y'all, this is how corny I was. I wrote a note to Chi-Chi, and in the note I was just telling her like, girl, we strong, we gonna get through this. You know, I love you so much. You know how much I love you, and I want us to get through this. And I handed her this was real bold of me. I handed her the note as they was having this conversation with the parents. Was just crying, and the parents was like, you know, just taking it all in, because like, who has the perfect response to these? Nobody. And my parents was like, you know, we put in Faye in counseling, so if you want to put Chi-Chi in counseling, we can tell you what the counselor's name is and all of that. And we ended up wrapping up the conversation, and we left. So after we left, y'all, I'm thinking we about to go home or something. No, we did not go home. We went back to church. And we went back to church because this was my first counseling session. Like, what? This is a whole lot going on in a matter of 2 days. Like, I came out to y'all, well, I was outed to y'all, and now I have to go to counseling, and y'all out of my girlfriend at the time. This is a whole lot going on. So y'all, I'm just drained. I'm tired at the time. And I'm like, girl, why do we have to do this? I had an attitude the whole time, y'all. A whole attitude. And in the counseling session, y'all, they was just like, they made me say like being gay was wrong. And they made me like, you know, read scriptures and tell them stories about like, you know, me being gay. It was just weird. A whole lot of weirdness going on. But I had to do it because this is what my parents thought was best. I ended up doing it because I was young and naive, and I didn't know how to advocate for myself the way I do now. Like, if this was me now, I definitely would have been like, girl, I believe that being gay is okay, and like, y'all just gonna have to deal with it. But at the time, I didn't know no better, so I'm just sitting here in counseling, letting them tell me what to do, listening to what they got to say, and like, yeah, that was my coming out story. Like, the whole church knew that I was gay. My girlfriend was outed at the same time I was outed, and yeah, that's just what happened. And it was terrible, okay, terrible. But you know, I'm grateful for that experience because it taught me how to advocate for myself. It taught me how to not accept anything that I don't want to accept, and to have a mind of my own. Like, I would never ever say anything or do anything that I don't believe is right. I would never agree with anything that I don't think is right, and I would never say anything about myself that I don't believe is true. So even though it was traumatic and there was a whole lot going on, I still am grateful for it because it made me who I am today. And yeah, that is my coming out story though. I'm gonna do my lashes and my lips, and I'm gonna come back with the finished look. Okay y'all, this is the finished look. I just added some lip gloss and added my lashes, and yeah, this is what I came up with. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to my coming out story. Again, I'm just so grateful that I went through it because it made me who I am today. And yeah, y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other story times y'all want to know about, what other stuff y'all want to hear about, what other things y'all want to see me do, and I will be doing it. Like I said, stay tuned for the other videos I have planned. And yes, y'all, I hope y'all have a fantastic day. All my channels and all my socials will be linked down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all.